Hey, what's up? I'm Justin Baldoni, and today we are in my home, but we're actually moving tomorrow.
And in Blake's rift is deepening. Their promotional duties devolving into open conflict as each battles to control the narrative. To some, this might seem like a setback, but others see it as an opportunity, an almost sacred responsibility to deliver something meaningful to a devoted audience, a chance to give back to a passionate community, especially for those who themselves burn with the same intensity. In an industry where indifference can be the ultimate curse, where apathy from the audience can suffocate even the brightest careers, having a fervent response, even if polarizing, can feel like a strange kind of gift. Yet beneath Hollywood's flawless exterior, where dazzling smiles, rehearsed charm, and illusion of seamless camaraderie are projected by stars like Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, and Anna Kendrick, something far murkier is unfolding. These actors, who so often light up screens with rom-com magic and emotional dramas, have long cultivated images of warmth and relatability. But now the storyline veers into something more jagged, more dangerous. Behind the shimmering facade lies a darker truth. Lawsuits filed, not just whispered about. Accusations launched directly into public eye. Betrayals so sharp they slice through once-solid alliances. This is no longer about red carpets or carefully polished sound bites. It's about raw chaos erupting behind studio walls, about bonds breaking under unbearable weight, friendships splitting like fault lines during an earthquake, leaving behind a landscape that is fractured, unstable, and utterly changed. At the epicenter of the unfolding drama is a high-stakes collision between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, a battle that has not only pulled Anna Kendrick into its turbulence, but also dragged Ryan Reynolds into fray, and even fueled speculation around Taylor Swift's conspicuous silence. What's happening here isn't just another round of Hollywood gossip. It feels like a seismic shift, an implosion whose shockwaves are only beginning to be measured, threatening to dismantle the glossy images of stars the public once thought it knew so well. For Baldoni, the journey into the storm began innocuously enough. Reading a script he expected to match a director's trademark humor, only to discover a twisting, campy thriller that defied categorization. That confusion, oddly, mirrors the chaos now consuming his off-screen life, where each day blurs the lines between comedy and tragedy, performance and reality. On the surface, these actors seemed untouchable. Baldoni, the sensitive heart of Hollywood storytelling. Lively, the picture of effortless chic and quick wit. Kendrick, the every woman with sharp humor and relatability. Together, they projected warmth, the kind of stars you could imagine grabbing coffee with, their laughter spilling casually between takes. But beneath the polished smiles, a feud has erupted that is anything but scripted. This isn't a fleeting quarrel destined to be patched up with a PR-crafted apology or staged reunion photo. It's a full-blown war, complete with accusations, lawyers mobilized like battle-hardened generals, and reputations hanging in the balance. What began as whispers has spiraled into a headline-dominating spectacle, a Hollywood earthquake shaking the foundations of their public identities, leaving stunned onlookers scrambling to piece together what went wrong. And just as the glitter begins to peel away, the human cracks are laid bare. Justin Baldoni, once seen as a paragon of sincerity and moral grounding, has stepped into the spotlight not with more roles or projects, but with startling vulnerability. In interviews and podcasts, his voice has trembled as he admitted to crippling exhaustion, paralyzing anxiety, and the emotional toll of relentless lawsuits and paparazzi scrutiny. To some, these revelations rang as authentic, a rare moment of truth from a man crushed under the weight of fame's contradictions. To others, they felt rehearsed, a carefully calculated play for sympathy in a bitter feud. Yet one thread is undeniable. Baldoni has gone beyond lamenting the pressures of stardom. He has directly accused Blake Lively of orchestrating a smear campaign, turning private animosities into public warfare. Whether seen as brave honesty or strategic posturing, the fact remains. The opening salvo has been fired. The battle lines are drawn, and Hollywood waits riveted as reputations, alliances, and carefully curated identities crumble under the harsh glare of conflict. To assume Blake Lively would remain silent in the face of such incendiary accusations was to underestimate her entirely. Known for her intelligence, composure, and ironclad determination, she responded not with hesitation but with action. Court documents revealed she had already prepared her defense months earlier, filing preemptive legal claims in December 2024. Her accusations went beyond simple retaliation, alleging that Justin Baldoni himself had engineered a smear campaign aimed at undermining her credibility, while also crossing professional and personal boundaries during production of It Ends With Us. These were not the petty grievances of bickering colleagues, but serious allegations with the power to transform reputations and careers. Yet industry whispers hinted at a deeper struggle beneath the surface. Less about personalities than about power. At its core, this was a bitter contest for creative autonomy. Baldoni's countersuit did more than deny Lively's claims. It escalated them, alleging not just defamation, but a conspiracy orchestrated by Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, to wrest control of the film away from him. He pointed to what he described as a trove of damning evidence. Admissions, internal communications, documents he claimed proved his narrative beyond doubt. In his telling, Lively was no victim, but a ruthless strategist willing to leverage her influence, deploy her PR arsenal, and bend the system to her will. It was in every sense a quintessential Hollywood standoff. Dueling narratives, clashing egos, and a truth buried under layers of lawsuits, leaks, and spin. Then came the revelations about the production itself. Lively allegedly dismissing wardrobe choices that reflected the story's themes of poverty and survival, instead insisting on glamour that jarred with the source material. Critics seized on her press tour, where she appeared to prioritize promoting her liquor and hair care brands over the film's difficult themes. The optics, combined with the lawsuits, deepened the perception of fracture. Hollywood's reaction was instant and electric. Neutrality evaporated overnight as power brokers, actors, and influencers rushed to choose sides. Baldoni's allies painted him as an earnest family man, incapable of the offenses he was accused of. Lively's defenders argued the severity of her allegations demanded attention, dismissing the idea that her claims were mere theatrics. As if scripted, Baldoni's PR machine moved quickly, leaking selective text exchanges and behind-the-scenes footage aimed at reinforcing his innocence. Almost overnight, the internet became a battlefield. Screens flooded with supposed receipts, contradictory evidence, and endless opinion threads. Friends found themselves on opposite sides. Alliances cracked. Hollywood itself seemed to fracture, teetering on the brink of civil war under the unrelenting glare of global media. And yet, in the strangest twist of all, it ends with a sword. The controversy that threatened to sink it instead propelled it into box office glory, with global earnings surpassing $350 million. Success, however, came at a cost. The promotional tour became a theater of discomfort, with Baldoni and Lively forced by contract to endure shared red carpets and joint interviews. Their strained smiles barely disguised the hostility that seemed to radiate between them. Press junkets, usually lighthearted, unfolded like diplomatic standoffs, their every glance scrutinized, their avoidance of each other louder than any words. Now, as legal analysts predict a trial that could drag every sordid detail into the public record, whispers of quiet settlement talks float through studio corridors. Both camps, insiders suggest, are driven less by principle than by desperation, seeking a way to stem reputational blood loss before it consumes them both. The cash registers may be ringing, but the PR inferno shows no sign of cooling. Just when it seemed the narrative had reached its most volatile peak, Anna Kendrick stepped back into the frame, her cool demeanor hinting at anything but celebration. And with that, the saga looped back to a cultural flashpoint. 2018's A Simple Favor, a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected twists are the ones no script could ever capture at the time of The Simple Favor's first release. Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick projected an image of inseparable camaraderie, their public friendship seemingly an extension of the witty, twist-filled dynamic they shared on screen. They were playful in interviews, affectionate at premieres, and sold to the world as Hollywood's newest it duo. But even then, industry whispers painted a less harmonious picture. Beneath the laughter and hand-holding, there were rumors of professional rivalry, subtle clashes over screen time, and quiet disputes about promotional responsibilities. Those whispers, once dismissed as idle gossip, now return with renewed force, complicating an already combustible Hollywood feud. With the sequel looming, one might have expected the two to bury grievances for the sake of a united front. Instead, Lively's entanglement in a legal maelstrom has left Kendrick shouldering the burden of promotion alone, a role she has accepted with visible reluctance. What should have been a vibrant, witty press tour echoing the chemistry of their first collaboration has instead devolved into a study in absence, with Lively's name dominating headlines not for her performance, but for the lawsuits threatening to define her career. Kendrick, once the breezy foil to Lively's glamour, now appears weighed down, her efforts overshadowed by courtroom drama that no amount of solo enthusiasm can erase. Adding to the intrigue, the once unshakable friendship between Lively and Taylor Swift has gone silent. Once inseparable, posting selfies and trading public compliments, Swift's absence in Lively's current storm is deafening. Insiders suggest she urged her friend to temper her public statements, advice Lively brushed aside. Now, Swift's silence reads like distance, perhaps even deliberate abandonment, fueling speculation about whether she has ghosted her former confidant to avoid being scorched by the same PR wildfire. Then there is Ryan Reynolds. Long regarded as Hollywood's class clown, the quick-witted, lovable prankster, his demeanor has shifted dramatically. When his wife came under fire, he shed the jester's mask and became her fiercest defender, a husband-turned-warrior. Yet whispers say his involvement extends well beyond loyalty. Some allege Reynolds is actively manipulating narratives, guiding public relations strategy, and even influencing legal maneuvering. His interventions, far from calming the storm, may be intensifying it, pushing Hollywood toward an open rupture where factions are drawn and neutrality is impossible. Behind the spectacle, the legal machinery grinds relentlessly. Lawyers sharpen their arguments. Studios sweat over investments, and analysts warn of a trial that could lay bare humiliating details for a global audience. Yet rumors of secret negotiations linger, whispers of a desperate desire to stem reputational blood loss before it destroys everyone involved. Settlement or spectacle, no one knows which path will be chosen. This is no longer just about one movie or one feud. It has become Hollywood on trial. Justin Baldoni, once the golden boy of sincerity, now stands battered but unbowed, vulnerable yet defiant. Blake Lively, long celebrated for her wit and elegance, confronts allegations that could dismantle her carefully curated image. Anna Kendrick, swept into the undertow, finds her momentum stalling as she carries the weight of solo promotion. Taylor Swift hovers like a ghost, her silence speaking louder than any lyric. And Ryan Reynolds looms over it all, equal parts husband and power broker, his role as ambiguous as it is decisive. Will Hollywood emerge from this implosion intact, or are we witnessing the death of the polished celebrity facade, replaced by a messier, more transparent era of public conflict? Or will the industry, as it has so many times before, repackage chaos into entertainment, turning scandal into box office gold while reputation smolder in the ashes? For now, the only certainty is that the story isn't finished. So where do you stand? Team Baldoni, Team Lively, or like countless others, are you simply transfixed, popcorn in hand, watching the most explosive Hollywood feud in years play out in real time? And if you've been captivated by this saga, buckle up, because there will be twists. Perhaps Anna Kendrick will fire off a scathing tweet that resets the entire narrative. Maybe Taylor Swift will break her silence with a razor-sharp anthem immortalizing betrayal and ambition. Whatever happens next, the world will be watching front row, popcorn ready, waiting for the next revelation in Hollywood's greatest unscripted